doubling up on you.
How you doing?
Awesome. Ready to go.
Right, just the two of you?
Yeah, just two of us. How you doing this evening?
Good, how are you?
Just getting off work, so the night's getting better.
Oh, the Noble Crest.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of you guys from The Bone.
Oh yeah, now we do a lot of promotional stuff with all the whole Cox Media stuff, iHeartRadio. So a lot of them come in here too.
Is the Bone a radio station?
Yeah, 102.5.
What kind of music is it?
It's talk.
It's talk now. It used to be like classic rock and stuff a couple years ago, but then they just changed it to straight talk. Now it's a bunch of talk shows throughout the day.
Yeah.
But the place that, like Cox Media, they have a bunch of stations. They have that station. I feel like they also do like 103.5 or 17971 or something like that.
101.5 hot.
Yeah, they got a couple of them.
Something, yeah.
95.7.
Yeah. Yeah, I listen to some of the shows during the day when I can.
Yeah.
Not usually when I have people in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, some people like that, some people don't.
Yeah.
So, it is pretty funny though. I used to listen to it when I used to drive on the way to work to and from, but not gonna lie, I do miss them having like the classic rock on there.
Yeah. Yeah, they did used to have good music.
I feel like radio is such like a dying media.
It is. It's like newspaper.
Right.
It's interesting how Sirius XM is still a thing. Because like they started like no commercials, and then now they have commercials. Like, why am I gonna pay for Sirius when I'm gonna have commercials? I feel like
it's almost going to podcasts now. Like podcasts are super popular, which is like not the same thing, but it's basically
it's talk radio.
Yeah,
it's
very similar. Yeah, people talking, and there's lots of ads on podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to Joe Rogan's like everybody else in the world.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me, but he has a 5-star rating on his podcast, and that's insane with all the amount of people that rate it. You know, does that mean across the board everyone says 5 stars, or just like the vast majority?
I feel like he has a very dedicated following. There's a lot of people that love his shit. It's probably just like
it's the #1 podcast.
Oh no, yeah, I know that. I know he has like some 4 or 5 million subscribers, something like that.
Yeah, he's making good money.
Oh no, absolutely. But he still does the UFC stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, he has that company on it that he's the main shareholder of, and I remember back when I was listening to him in high school, his main sponsor was the Fleshlight. And it was man, and now it's legit stuff.
I feel like Fleshlight's legit. It's hilarious, but
it's just a weird sponsor to have. You know what I mean?
I feel at a certain point you gotta take what you can get. You know?
How can you be serious? You have to be super serious. It's the best of what you're looking for. I mean, I can't even.
Can't imagine that ad. It's done well for him. That podcast has been on for 10 years.
At least 10 years.
Before podcasts were even a thing.
Before they were big, because he's on number 1,300, 1,400.
I know he's over 1,000.
Yeah, so that's a lot over the years. And he doesn't do them he does them pretty much every day.
I thought he just did one a week. I thought that's what it was.
I think it's a little more than that. I'm not religious, but if I see someone I like, Mike Tyson's on there sometimes.
Yeah, he has cool people on there all the time. He definitely doesn't do one a day. It might be more than once because he tours and does comedy shows.
Yeah.
So there's no way he can do one every day, but he does a shit.
I don't feel like he has a schedule for it or anything. It's just when it happens, it happens. Just such a chill thing. I guess it'd be kind of hard to have stuff to talk about with someone for 2-3 hours, and keep it interesting.
He has super interesting people. I remember I really liked the one with Alex Jones, and everyone hates him, and he said
he's a little nutty, but
no, he's a wild dude, but it's like so true, and like I've heard it, and it's like the shit that he says on his, like, what's it called, the thing that he does?
Oh, I forget. It's like
something wars.
Oh yeah, InfoWars.
Info.
Yeah, that thing. He like the way he acts on that. It's like a character. He's even said it because he's been sued by a bunch of people for the things he said on there. He really got famous when he did the whole like Sandy Hook was a hoax. He was one of the first people that really, like, he wasn't the first person to say it, but he was the first person that really made that popular. And he was like, oh, people should go to the parents' houses and tell them they're liars and like their kids didn't die. And, like, I know. And that was like, people started suing him.
Yeah.
And there was like video of him in court being like, yo, like the shit that I do is entertainment. Like, I don't do it.
Well, I mean, even if he was being legit, you gotta like backpedal on that.
Yeah. Well, no, and he did too. And I remember him being like, at a certain point, he apologizes, like, hey, it wasn't fake. Like the people who had their, because people had their like
children.
Like elementary schoolers got them shot.
Well, the one thing that I remember really getting him popular is when he snuck into Bohemian Grove.
Yeah,
and
that was a long time ago.
But that
was like a satanic ritual or something. Or?
Yeah, man, they just do a lot of weird stuff, and some people say they kind of let him do that to get it out there because but it's weird. Like the whole thing is weird. There's like this owl like deity thing, like a lot of it looks very cultish. Yeah, it's kind of sketcy, but I mean, there's just like a lot of. I don't know about evidence, but a lot of speculation that very powerful people attend those sort of things. Well, yeah, or like a New World Order, Skull and Bones kind of thing.
It's all like the most powerful people in the world, presidents like George Bush and people like that.
I mean, I'd believe it to a certain extent. Like, if you know that you're one of the only people that has access to this information and these secrets, like as the president, there's some shady shit you're gonna find out. You know what I mean? And like, you can't tell anybody. I mean, like, I'm sure the amount of knowledge out there of like shady shit the United States has done would blow anybody's mind. And I'm pretty, like, I'm into conspiracies and stuff, but I can't even imagine like the tip of the iceberg on that.
Yeah.
Because it's probably pretty gnarly.
Oh my god, there's so much crazy shit. Alien, CIA mind control.
Yeah, the MK Ultra thing always.
Assassinations and shit.
Yeah, one of my former bosses at Bonefish was like a big conspiracy MK Ultra kind of guy, and he really like told me about that. Like, fuck, if that's true, that is insane.
I mean, I thought that like MK Ultra like started as a conspiracy theory, but hasn't it like since been proven to like actually have happened? Like, isn't there like documented records of like the CIA trying to do like experimenting on soldiers for like mind control and like
yeah, but it depends on like which route you want to take it, because they gave copious amounts of LSD to these people and things, but it also goes into like a modern day thing where a lot of like well-established musicians and famous people are almost like controlled and puppeted, and I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but like that they're put in that position so that they can influence people, and they're meant to be that. There's a lot on like Jim Morrison being one of the early people,
like Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah, like Jay-Z supposedly Beyonce's handler and all this, and like I said, I don't necessarily believe it, but even if a fraction of it's true, it's like, fuck, how much power and control do they have over the media? Exactly. With SoundCloud and stuff, I guess, like, I don't know, like that makes it a little, like, people can actually get popular without anything, but even like people like Lil Pump and stuff, he's supposed to be self-made and out of nowhere, but you don't know if someone like put him on.
Yeah. I mean, Lil Pump sounds so stupid. Everything I ever hear him say or rap about, I'm just like, God, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah, but he's a 17-year-old balling out of control. You know what I mean?
He's a millionaire, but
he's definitely not an intelligent dude, but intelligent. He probably spends money stupid too, but he is just balling out of control at 17.
That's true. Very true.